Yeah, I'm like, I get majority of my knowledge from TikTok, and it's unfortunately like white women or women who don't have the same skin tone as me, but they're using these products and they're having these amazing results. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go get that and try it.
And their skin can like handle it, right? So the advice for different skin types and skin tones can be so different.
Welcome back to Brown Girl Problems. Today we're chatting with Deepi from Savasana Beauty Bar, based in downtown Calgary. Deepi has created a space that is not just about skincare, but also self-care, where you can rest, relax, or yap. In this episode, Deepi will drop some knowledge about skincare specific for brown girls and tell us about her journey, which eventually led to Calgary.
Hi, my name is Deepi. I'm the owner of Savasana Beauty Bar and a licensed esthetician. And if you're looking for facials, microneedling, or chemical peels, you can find me in downtown Calgary.
Okay, so first things, tell me how you're liking Calgary, because you moved here, what, like a year ago?
Actually, exactly a year ago on October 1st.
Stop.
So that's like in, about 7-8 days. So I actually really like Calgary. I think it's really cute. It's really quiet compared to BC, or I guess like the Lower Mainland.
That's where you were, like, was it?
Yeah, so I lived in Surrey, BC.
Oh, I don't want to guess.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say you can probably guess, but I worked out of Langley, actually. I'm not sure if you know. So I ran my business there for 3 years and then switched over to here just last year.
Nice. And so you like Calgary, you had to start your business all over. How was that?
Hard. I knew it would be hard and a lot of work, but I don't think I understood really like how much work it would really take and like doing all the marketing again. The one good thing was I was pretty good at my marketing and I'm kind of good with the creative side. So it came a little easy to me, but putting everything together and just like trying to, like get new people to recognize you is a lot harder than I thought. But I think word of mouth has worked really well for me. So
yeah, I would say your marketing and like social media game is on point. That's how I found you. It was like, I was like, this came up and it looked very aesthetic and brown girl friendly. And I was like, perfect. That's all I need. Yeah. So it's working.
Yeah, that's my goal. Honestly, like I want to attract more brown girls too. I think with skincare, especially, they're a lot more comfortable when they're with an esthetician who understands their skin more. So I really like that. A lot of brown girls do come to me here, so nothing's changed. I think even back home it was the same way, so same thing here now.
Yeah. And now Calgary's your home.
Yeah, for my family and I as well, actually. So I didn't even come here by myself. So my entire family is here. We have cousins here as well. So the experience is really nice because I feel like Calgary, it's easy, like getting to know a new place. It's like so easy in Calgary because everything's so accessible. Where in BC, I would say like there's so many things and places and restaurants I still don't know. And here, I think I've even experienced more than my own family that's lived here. Because I'm just always out and about and I work downtown, so that's pretty cool.
So you're like a local already.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it feels like it. I think for me, it feels like that more than it does for my family. So
that's great.
Yeah, so I've put myself out there quite a bit and I think it's paid off. And I mean, I'm sitting here now too, so.
Yeah, something's clearly worked.
Yeah.
So you mentioned like a lot of brown girls come to you now. In terms of like the most common skin concerns that you're seeing, like I would imagine even for myself, it's like scarring or hyperpigmentation. What are some of the trends that you're seeing?
That's pretty much what it is. Like pigmentation is a big one. A lot of ladies also have melasma, which is a big one. That's like hormonal, kind of caused by hormonal problems, and you get like pockets of like dark spots on your cheeks and your forehead and things like that. So a lot of that, and I think it's risky too for people who have these concerns to just go to anyone and use any of the trendy kind of products and stuff like that. So it's all about just knowing what your skin needs to balance itself out rather than trying to like target the pigment with like aggressive treatments. And if you are going to use quote unquote like an aggressive treatment like lasers or microneedling, you really want to go to someone who understands brown skin and does it in a way that like is safe for your skin. So you don't worsen the problem or like burn you is a big one. Like brown skin can burn really easy. So
which is surprising to me. You would think it wouldn't.
No, exactly. And like from lasers and stuff, like what happens is it traps the heat, and then that can get your melanin cells to kind of like overproduce or become overactive, and then you get the pockets of melanin in like little areas. And that's where those like you notice like maybe around the mouth and things like that, you'll have like pigmentation, but it's not really like a scar, right? So there's like, there's different forms of pigmentation. It can come from scars of like from acne breakouts, even cuts, things like that. We scar really easily as brown girls. So
Yeah, what is that? Why do we scar so easily?
because of our like excess amount of melanin, which is good because we have like UV protection built in, to an extent, but we also have to make sure we don't it doesn't become overactive. So yeah, it's all about balance. So yeah, that's what I'm here to help you guys with.
And then how do you approach like treating darker skin? Are there different products you use or different like techniques that you use because we have darker skin?
Yeah, so you want to be careful with chemicals. And a big thing is, I think, like people online see people use a lot of active ingredients like glycolic acid. And these ingredients aren't bad, but like if they're layered wrong or if they're used on someone's skin that's more sensitive, or maybe they're on medication, they don't realize they shouldn't be using something. It's like little things like that can really affect your skin. So yeah, like what I like to say, for the most part, for brightening, you want to use a vitamin C of some sort. And if you can't use vitamin C, it's not the only option. There's azelaic acid, there's niacinamide, like anti-inflammatory. Like even for brown skin, you can get like post-inflammatory marks as well, redness and things like that.
Okay.
So using anti-inflammatory ingredients as well are really good. And then especially for layering. So a lot of people like to layer a lot of products, but they need to just learn how to layer it so that, for example, like vitamin C and retinol, I love those for your like overall routine, but vitamin C should be used like in the daytime if you're going to use your retinol at night. So don't layer them together at night.
Okay.
Yeah, so you don't want too much activity going on in your skin either, right? And that's where you get like all the pigment, and it doesn't happen right away, and that's what I think is the scary part. And it happens over time after using the product, then you don't know where it's coming from. But it's usually just people doing too much or going to the wrong professional that maybe doesn't treat their skin in like a safe manner. So
yeah, I'm like, I get majority of my knowledge from TikTok, and it's unfortunately like white women or women who don't have the same skin tone as me, but they're using these products and they're having these amazing results. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go get that and try it.
And their skin can like handle it, right? So the advice for different skin types and skin tones can be so different. And even if you get like all like brown skin clients at the same time, like it's the same thing. Like one client might be able to handle a vitamin C and the other client can, maybe it makes them react. So regardless, like you should never go based off of TikTok, even if it's like a brown girl or whoever it is, because her skin is going to be so much more different than your skin. So I think finding a professional to go to who can actually look at your skin like through a magnifying glass even and tell you what exactly is going on is the best way to keep it safe.
Okay. And like, I guess, like you mentioned for brown skin in general, if there are dark spots like around the mouth or like what product would you recommend that does like, not like a company, but like a product that you think is like your holy grail?
For daily use, definitely if you can use a vitamin C, a stable vitamin C. So that's another thing. There's unstable vitamin Cs, whereas like maybe the packaging, it's faulty, or maybe it's a cheaper quality vitamin C. Vitamin C is more expensive and more like, it's more potent, it's more stable as well, but then it can become unstable really fast as well from light. If it's exposed to like heat, if it's exposed to just like different things, it'll oxidize basically, and then it doesn't work how it's supposed to work. It won't harm you, but then you're spending a lot of money on a vitamin C serum. You want it to work, right?
Right.
So you can use that. You can use niacinamide. Azelaic acid is a really good one that for brightening, especially like stubborn scars. I like retinol generally, like for everyone if you can handle it, but starting retinol, it's like definitely ask a professional. Start on a low percentage, all of that too, because that can also be another risk.
And like build your way up.
Your way up.
Okay.
But anything with brightening products are great. You can use like it would just depend. Like for myself, like I don't carry every single one of these ingredients. Like I carry a brand specifically that might have some of these ingredients in some of their serums. I like treating with the serum. So typically, like if you want to treat a specific concern, you want to look for a serum that has that ingredient that's going to treat that concern.
Okay.
Because it can actually, the molecules are usually smaller, so they can penetrate a little bit deeper and get to those areas of concern that you want to treat. Whereas like something like a cleanser, you can use like a salicylic acid cleanser, all these chemicals, but it's like something that stays on your skin for maybe a minute and then you wash it off. Okay. And then a moisturizer is very thick, so it's good for, you want a moisturizer, you want to like lock in all the moisture, you want to lock in all your ingredients that you put on your skin as well, but then it's not going to have those like life-changing ingredients in there that are going to make a big difference, like vitamin C. It might be nice, it might make your skin look really nice and feel really good, but you want a serum to actually penetrate your skin and treat those concerns, especially things like pigmentation. Start like beneath the skin, and that's where you want to treat it rather than the surface. The surface, focus on exfoliating, focus on sunscreen. I would say that's probably number one. I should have mentioned is sunscreen. If you're using anything else and you're not wearing sunscreen, you're kind of doing the opposite of what you should be doing.
You're like undoing all your hard work.
Yeah, you're pretty much like burning your skin because the retinol is going to make your skin sensitive. Vitamin C also is an active ingredient. So when you use these and you use a sunscreen, like your skin will thank you. It's going to look better. It's going to feel better. You're not going to get blotchy, patchy. Like some people come to me and they tell me they're using a retinol or like a tretinoin and like something very strong. And then I'm like, hey, what sunscreen do you use? They're like, I don't use sunscreen. And I'm like, oh.
Now I'm like, I don't wear sunscreen today.
You don't wear sunscreen?
I do. Just not today. I forgot. And I should have because I feel like I'm being tested.
You're inside right now.
Yeah.
But I would say like make it a part of your daily habit. Find a sunscreen that you like. That's the number one key. I think for the most part, when I ask people why they don't wear it, they're like, I just don't like, it like leaves a white cast. It feels gross. It feels heavy. So for me, I'm like, I love my sunscreen. I wish I could wear it at night because it's just like, it's so calming.
Like moisturizing?
It's moisturizing.
Okay.
Like mine is really nice. So I like putting it on in the morning. So I don't really mind it. But if you don't like it, obviously you're not going to want to put it on your face.
Yeah. So invest the time and the money to find a product that really works for you.
Yeah. Or talk to an esthetician because they have the best products usually. So then you don't have to go and search in different stores, right? So yeah. And honestly, it's expensive. Sunscreens are expensive too. And the good quality ones are, but I will say they're worth it.
And like, I guess with all these products, you know, you mentioned kind of going underneath the surface. So like at what point do products not work and you need to like, you know, do microneedling or do something else where you feel like those scars are just like not going away? I'm asking because like, this is just my journey too.
No, for sure. Like, I would say if you want to complement your skincare with treatments, microneedling is my favorite by far.
It's like the holy grail?
It's the holy grail. Okay. It's going to make your, like everything from your pores to fine lines, the firmness of your skin, pigmentation, melasma. Like it depends how many treatments. Like some people need up to maybe even 8 treatments. Some people need maybe 1 treatment and they're like, oh my God, my skin looks amazing.
Wow.
Maybe they just had a little bit of dullness to their skin, but nothing crazy. Like ice pick marks are a big one. So people who have acne scars that are a little bit like indented in the skin, I'm sure you've seen those. The microneedling is gonna be life changing for you, but you probably need like 6 treatments. And when you complement it with home care is when you're gonna see the best results, and maybe even sooner. And maybe you need less treatments too because you're doing all the work at home as well.
Is there a certain like age? Does that matter when you can start or when you should be doing it?
Like 22.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's early, like, because you know they say Botox is like so much later, and it's like, but like I guess there's so much misconception about microneedling because it's like going under a needle, even though it's not. You know what I mean? So people are so hesitant.
But honestly, like at 22, so the reason you want to start around 22 is because you want to prevent all the fine lines, wrinkles. So same thing with Botox, or it's more of a preventative measure. But with microneedling, it's actually collagen induction therapy. So what it does is kind of boost your collagen, but it doesn't happen with one treatment.
Right.
So it's good to maintain it yearly, even if you got like 1 to 3 treatments a year. Even if you have no concerns as in like, you know, acne scars or something deep rooted, it's going to help just maintain building collagen so that your skin stays firm, healthy, bright, vibrant. Like it gets your cells regenerating and it's not stagnant. So when your skin is stagnant and you're not doing anything, and not using actives to help it, once you get older, you'll start noticing things are kind of just like textured, and you know, you'll notice like your skin is kind of aging a little bit more.
And then with microneedling, is that something that you're supposed to regularly like top up or keep kind of consistent with throughout your journey?
You want to stay consistent, especially if you have acne scars or deep, like if you have melasma, like deep hyperpigmentation even. You want to stay consistent within like that year. You want to do it maybe even 3 times if it's minimal issues. So it all depends. Like I have to like literally see the skin to see how many treatments, but I would say 3 minimum is really good for your first year. And do them 6 weeks apart. And then after that, I recommend if you don't have like major skin issues, just come once a year even if you want to just kind of give your collagen a boost. So
yeah, I think that's so helpful to hear because with skincare, it's so intimidating. I mean, I feel like for the last few years, my goal has just like, how do I get clear skin? And then if I like, you know how you're like, look under a magnifying glass and your esthetician will help you. Yeah. Like if I stared at my face for 5 more seconds than I need to, I'd be like, and this is wrong, and this is wrong, and I need this treatment.
Then you're picking on it.
And every time you open a social media app, someone's getting a new procedure done. And now I'm like, everyone's getting their under eyes fixed somehow. And I'm like, is that something, you know, and I'm like, in my big old age, I'm still like getting my advice from social media.
And those things, I feel like with most things, if you maintained your skin, you might not have the issues that you're kind of seeing and having to take like these like more expensive approaches, I would say even.
Yeah.
I'm not against them, like especially like microneedling and laser. They're also really expensive and an investment.
Yeah.
But they really makes like a huge difference in your skin, and I feel like they're not dangerous unless you're going to the wrong professional. Like they sound a lot riskier, like, oh, you want to like, oh, I'm doing all these things, but lasers are great for your skin too. Like if you want to go a little bit deeper, if you're struggling with especially acne, like for me, I struggled with acne a lot when I moved to Calgary. The weather is very dry.
It's very dry.
I was like very stressed, maybe even till this day. But my acne, I don't think has ever been as bad as it was until I moved here. And I wasn't really doing anything about it because I was so busy and occupied with starting a business over and just like focusing on everything else that I was like, it'll just go away. Like I was just like, I was doing my routine, but I was like internally, I think like things were happening and I wasn't taking care of myself. And then I had to go to laser. I had a friend, thankfully, where I work, and she offered to do laser on me. And she was like, let me help you. And it's been the best thing I've ever done. Like, I love laser treatments. I love microneedling. I just think, yeah, do them for maintenance. And you might have to do them for correction as well, but to prevent having to do them in the future for like wrinkles and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it's really expensive to do a lot of treatments. So do it early on, maintain it early on, use retinol at home if you can. Use your vitamin C. That's going to help. It also repairs any damage that's already happened in your skin. It helps protect you from more damage that's happening. It works well with sunscreen. So all these things you can prevent doing too many treatments. Like you can get all the treatments and like, you know, if you have the money, like go for it. You want to, you know, freshen up your skin all the time.
Yeah.
But if you like are on a budget and you just need something to kind of maintain your skin, like just get a simple routine, one serum in the day, one serum at night.
Okay.
And that's all you need. And sunscreen for sure.
So a vitamin C during the day, ideally, and then a retinol at night.
Yeah.
And then sunscreen during the day. That's all you need if you're trying to figure it out.
Like, it's not like, I wouldn't say it's all you need. It would depend on your specific concerns. But for like a normal person who just like doesn't have too many concerns, and acne especially, I would say is the biggest one, or eczema and things like that, then you have to be careful. So there's so many like inflammatory kind of conditions as well that you can't use retinol and you can't use vitamin C. Like I don't use vitamin C actually. I noticed this breaks me out.
Oh, no way.
So I actually use like just antioxidants. I use niacinamide. I use like a CBD mist. Like I use other things that are more anti-inflammatory and help heal my skin. But vitamin C, I notice every time I use it that I just get like underneath the skin, I get a little bit of cystic acne, and I didn't want to believe it until like I finally like I like took it out of my routine and I'm like, okay, I think that's what it was.
Wow.
So some things like
you advocate for it, but it just doesn't work for you.
It's great. It's like science backed. Right. So you can't like I can't fight it. But for some skin, it's just it's reacting with my skin for some reason. Like there's something obviously maybe even internal that's going on. So it just doesn't like the overactivity, I guess, you know. So I also use a lot, like I do laser as well, of course, and then I used to use a retinol before I started laser, but I use other ingredients as well. So maybe it could have just been like too much going on in my skin altogether.
You know what? That's so true. I feel like lately, because again, I'm bombarded with all this information. You should see like my bathroom counter. It has so many different things. I have like Korean skincare. I have like things from like the drugstore. I have things that are high end because I'm trying so hard to figure it out. And it's so hard navigating it because you don't get like test sizes, right? Like you have to buy this big product and it's so expensive, then you don't know if it's working because your skin's purging first or whatever. So it's a very tricky thing.
With an esthetician.
Yeah.
Because even like some people are purging and they think they're having a reaction.
Yeah.
Really, it's like there's only one way out for your pores to release all the toxins and bacteria and all that kind of stuff.
So explain purging for anyone.
So like with purging, it's basically, for example, for someone who maybe comes to me and they're like, you know, I've been like all this congestion underneath my skin and I cleanse and moisturize, I'll do all this stuff, it just doesn't work. But then I go in with the facials. For example, I use a bunch of active ingredients to kind of slough away all the dead skin. I'm going in there doing extractions manually, taking it out, but I'm not getting every single extraction. I'm not going far enough that like if it doesn't have a whitehead, I'm not going at it. I'm not trying to push it out. So I can feel sometimes people have a lot of congestion underneath, and I'm like, oh, they're probably gonna purge because now I've taken all the dead skin off and everything comes to the surface. And like, what's gonna happen? It's gonna come out of your pores. So you know, unless you're rashy, red, itchy, like there's something like it's actually like a reaction, then I would be worried about, okay, this product might not be best for your skin. But if it's like you're breaking out in the areas that you had a lot of congestion, especially if it's honestly, if it's everywhere and you didn't have congestion, then it's probably not a good sign. But if it's someone who like, didn't do much to their skin and then you got a facial, like you might, and some people just don't have purging either, but for the most part, some people get a little whitehead here and there. And I do check up with my clients afterwards, and for the most part, they understand. They're like, oh yeah, I got a little bit of purging, but it looks and feels good overall. So it's just things need to come out. So it's tough. And even for me, when I got laser, it got worse before it got better too. And even knowing it, I was still like I'm still sitting there in the mirror, like picking at my skin. I'm like, just get everything out. Like, it really is like, it's hard to get through, but it's the only way out.
Even as like a professional, you know all the information, but when it's on your face,
oh, trust me,
it affects the way you feel. It obviously affects the way you look. It's so hard.
Well, and people get so embarrassed when they're sitting across from me too, when they're like, oh, like if they pick or like how their skin looks, and they're like, oh, I'm the same person as you. Like, trust me. And I didn't start skincare or like my esthetician journey until I was about 27, 28.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't wear sunscreen until then. So I didn't do anything right either. I was doing everything wrong until I like got the education, and I was like, hold on, so there's like so much science behind skin and so much knowledge to know before you can treat it. And like I was using like glycolic acid, salicylic acid, retinol, all like in one night. Like,
me too.
Yeah, like
is that not right?
Not even like, or like like a brand drops products and we go going at it.
Yeah, and
you're like, oh, this is what's gonna solve my acne, and then you just throw them all on at once. Right?
Yeah, 100%.
So that's what happens usually, and I did the same. I still till this day pick at my skin.
Yeah,
I popped a pimple today because I was putting makeup on, and I was like, this thing is so annoying. Like you can't help it. You're like standing. You're like, I'm not gonna do it, and then just do it
before you even like can stop yourself. It's happening in real time.
You're like, oh no, it's ready. I can see it's ready.
Yeah,
it's never ready.
Yeah. So what about like some of the traditional like South Asian things, like having turmeric masks or like multani mitti, like any of those? Do you feel like, because now I feel like products are just not as pure as they used to be. The versions that we're getting is not, unless you're kind of getting it from back home. Do you feel like they still have the benefits that they're supposed to?
I think like I can't say they don't have the benefits. Like for example, like turmeric masks, like they're anti-inflammatory, brightening, and they really can give you that result you're looking for maybe in the moment. I won't say they're gonna solve all your like hyperpigmentation issues or anything. I think they complement skincare well rather than replacing it fully, like your skincare routine fully, because I think you need a little bit of like science-backed ingredients in your skincare, just like things that are proven to help. And then you can do a turmeric mask a couple times a week if it like feels good on your skin. I mean, it's natural. At the end of the day, like there's nothing in that's gonna
like harmful. Yeah,
exactly. So there's nothing wrong with it. I just wouldn't say it's not gonna solve your skin concerns. At the level that you want it to, if you are really struggling with something. A little bit more intense than just like dull skin.
So it's like more so just to kind of be there as like complementary to your skincare products. What about like castor oil and stuff? Like I've seen that a lot more. I don't know if you kind of seen those trends of like putting castor oil all over your face. I also love castor oil, but what do you think about that?
For me, it's funny because when I got my brows laminated once, they gave me castor oil to put on my brows, and it broke me out like my brows, like very cystic, and I didn't realize until I kept doing it. I just kept doing it. I wasn't realizing where it was coming from.
Right.
And then I got my brows laminated again, and then I got the castor oil again, and then it broke me out. So for my personal experience, I would never recommend it for an acne-prone client. Maybe it might work for some people. I know some of my clients like tell me they use castor oil, but their skin is flawless, and I'm like,
that's why.
Like I wish I could, oil myself up too. But it really depends on your skin. I think if it can handle it, but castor oil, I wouldn't say is my favorite to put on your face. Like I like formulations that are meant to be on your skin. Like, I think it's just safer. I'm not like for oil, for example, like essential oils and things like that too. Like I love it for your scalp. Like
right.
I offer it at my spa too.
Right.
But I don't think I would feel comfortable to put it on someone's skin. It might and might not work for some people. That's the thing with like the oils. I just think if it's gonna clog your pores, it's gonna cause a lot of issues then. Some people use coconut oil to take off their makeup. That's very like not acne friendly at all.
Really?
So some people are doing things that they don't realize, like it's natural. And that's the thing with natural products. Some people don't realize it might be pore clogging. I think there's like beef tallow people started using. That's also pore clogging, but it works for some people and it makes you look like glass skin too.
Yeah. Do you think it's just because like I think a lot of the way that I think about it is like back home and when our like the previous generations were using this product, there was also like less pollution, the air was cleaner, the products were purer, so it kind of like worked. And now like our skin is like bombarded all the time.
We eat, drink, like everything, right? So even for my mom till this day doesn't wear sunscreen. Actually, we were just talking about this last night. Her skin is way nicer than all me and my sisters.
Wow.
Like, I'm not even kidding you. She's in her 60s and her forehead's really tight. I think that's one thing I got from her is like the tight forehead. But
there you go.
Like it's like she doesn't do a single thing, and I can't even convince her to. Like she just
honestly, yeah, it's true. Like my grandma, thankfully she has gorgeous skin. Like she always has. Same with my mom. Like I think my mom has lovely skin as well. My sister had some treatments done, but her skin's way better. And it's just like if you line us all up, like no one has the same skin type. No one's the same skin color. Like everyone's all over the place. So it's so hard to be like, well, this worked for you and not, you know what I mean? Just because even in just like in 3 generations, it's so different.
Yeah. Even me and my sisters all pretty much have like a little bit of different skin too. Like our younger sister has like normal skin. Like, you know, she gets like one breakout and she's like, what's happening? And I'm like, I wish that was my problem.
Yeah.
Right. So it really, like skincare, that's the thing about it. It's like so unique to everyone. Your treatments, your products. And for some people, they just have such normal skin. They can try anything they want, and it just doesn't react.
Yeah.
I have cousins the same way too. Even guy cousins that don't do a single thing, don't even probably wash their face, but their skin is like flawless.
Yeah, that's like my beef with men is like and I like learned about this is like even because I saw this thing and it was like men don't get cellulite. And it made me so mad. And I was like, oh my God. And it's just,
about that.
Yeah, right. Why? And it's just like, because our body, like our skin needs to be able to expand. Just because we're like giving birth, or like if we ever get pregnant. So like, it's like, that's so unfair. So their skin naturally is just like tighter because they don't have to go through the miracle of childbirth, apparently.
Exactly.
Which is unfair.
But there's definitely some men that do have a lot of concerns too. I get a lot of male clients too.
Oh, okay. Tell us about that.
I like it. I actually think it's needed more. I know a lot of people just are not comfortable with giving male facials, I guess. But I honestly, like, I usually get someone's boyfriend, someone's fiance, someone's husband, like forcing them to come in because like there's not many males booking appointments themselves. But I will say, like, every time in the beginning they're always just like, I have no idea what's going on, like just like laying there, you know. But afterwards they're like, oh, that was nice. And then they're like, what did you put on my skin? They're like, what was the last product you put? It was always sunscreen. And my sunscreen's like really good. So whenever I put that on, they're like, what was that? And then whenever I sell it to them, that's the one product I will say. And then they get kind of into it. So I think it's just introducing it to them. I really like that. And then some of them are embarrassed about it too, which is funny. Like it is a thing, like where guys think like it's embarrassing to take care of your skin. If I ask, for example, like, can I post it online? They're like, oh, no, please. Like, that's embarrassing. And I'm like, what? Like,
why is it embarrassing if you're taking care of yourself?
Put it online or anything. But to me, I'm like, if that's the reason, that's like so funny to me. Because I'm like, who's going to laugh at you for taking care of your skin?
Yeah.
But I guess some guys might. But then it's like, let them age, you know, ungracefully. And then you'll look really good when you're in your 40s and 50s.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I guess I never thought about it in that sense where like men would be a little bit more hesitant, but that's good that maybe more and more are coming to you.
And a lot of estheticians are women, so I think that's
true.
A big thing.
Yeah.
I think some barbershops do offer facials.
Yeah.
So maybe they go there. I know some of my guy clients have told me they got a facial at the barbershop.
I doubt it's the same experience.
Yeah, I don't think it's the same experience.
Ours is like very different than like a barbershop facial. I'm just imagining.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
So like, what advice would you give to brown girls that are navigating skincare and like mostly around these Eurocentric products or watching these women who like don't have the same skin tone? Like what advice would you give overall on like helping them?
My number one advice would be talk to a professional.
Okay.
Especially if you deal with pigmentation. Don't make any guesses. Don't use random products that are labeled as pigment brighteners or brightening or bleaching or whatever it is. Talk to a professional. They can look at your skin and probably see the concerns as way less of a problem than even you do. Like some people think like, oh, like this is never gonna go away, but it's like you're just missing like maybe one ingredient. Like some people are like, they have like a lot of blackheads, for example. They're just missing like a salicylic acid in their routine because they're just using like nothing but they have oily skin and it's building up all the time. So sometimes people are just missing like that one thing, or they just need like that one facial to like get it kind of restarted, right? So I would say talk to a professional and go from there. Otherwise, you'll be wasting a lot of money and wasting a lot of time and potentially putting your skin in a lot of danger for like long term. So.
Okay, that's good advice.
Yes.
I also wanted to ask, like, I mean, I think you own your own business, so like your might be a different, but like I feel like when we go to these larger places that offer like massages or spas, like they're all partnered with certain brands, right? So how does like the regular person know? Because I feel like I've gone somewhere in the past many years ago and like they clearly just like pushed a product on me. And I tried it and then I came back and like I met with someone else and she was like, oh, that girl always pushes that product. And I was like, oh, like that. I was like, okay. Like
you thought it was tailored to you.
Yeah. And
right?
she, she like, and I felt very like, oh, I don't know if I should still keep using this. So yeah.
With commercial spaces, that's the sad part. Sometimes they also have sales targets and things like that. And that's why I like working for myself. I can control like everything. I can control what brands I carry, what I want to sell. I don't have to push like a mass that I don't actually believe in, but like, you need to make more sales of. So I think with commercial spaces, that is one of the problems. So I'm not saying they're all like that, but you do want to find someone that you fully trust. And anytime you feel like someone's being a little pushy or giving you like, it seems more of a sales tactic than like something that's like personalized to you. I would be careful about that. Going to someone who owns their own business, I feel like not everyone, but for the most part, I think most people are really passionate and really care and like love what they do and like really want to help. And they're really going to take their time to do like consultations and checking after. Like with the commercial space, people don't come afterwards and ask you how your skin's doing. But I'm like probably like sleeping in my bed thinking about how your skin is doing because I'm so nervous. Like, about your client's skin, like how's it doing? They got microneedling. Like, did they wake up? Like, how does it look? Are they like in pain? Like so many things that we think about. Like, like the acne. My acne is probably coming from all the stress and just
oh my gosh,
thinking about your clients all the time. But I think that's a good thing because like we really do. Honestly, like I think even the professionals that I work with, I work in a co-working space, so everyone works for themselves.
Okay.
And everyone just loves what they do, and it's so cool to be around too. And I really, the people like I think people really trust people who I think run their own business because we come from a place of like passion more than just like sales.
Yeah.
Like money's nice, but end of the day. It comes and goes, but end of the day, like clients are gonna, I feel like I want them to keep coming back. I want them to feel comfortable. I always tell them like, message me. Like, don't come to me a month after being like, this happened and like, I don't know, I bought this random serum. That happens a lot. And I'm like, why? Like, you should have just messaged me because I can like save you that money and like just tell you what you need exactly, right? So
I think you need to like host a masterclass and be like, like that's all I can think about is like, because I have spent so much money and so much because I don't know, like for the longest time, I didn't know if I had oily skin or dry skin because I'm like, it's both. And I'm like, oh, the combination skin is a thing. Like, I don't know.
And sometimes it's like unbalanced for people because they're doing like maybe like you have dry skin. Some people have dry skin and then they're using all these like active drying ingredients just because they're popular. And then like, I'm like, why are you using this when you have eczema? Like, don't don't use
don't irritate it. Yeah.
Or something.
Okay.
But they're like, oh, I heard it's good for blackheads or something. Like, like they just see one like concern on their face, but they use it everywhere and like just don't realize that.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we do that. I think I can't remember which product it was. But it might have been you who even told me, you're like, that's a spot treatment. Stop putting it all over your face. And I was like, oh, my bad. I was just rubbing it wherever.
Yeah,
so yeah.
Scary, especially for darker skin is a lot more risk too. And I feel like that's the scary part. So no, definitely. I think talking to a professional is like number one, like find someone like online. You can like now everyone with Instagram, like they show their personality, they show how much work they put into their business and go based off of that, like who you feel.
It's good advice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like see someone who's genuine. And if you are being pushed a product, learn to say no.
Yeah. And that's okay too. Like even my clients, like always tell them what they need if they're talking to me about a specific concern, but I'm not going to be like, you need this, or like, it's like, you know, you're not going to get it fixed. Like your issues are going to be like, if they can't afford it, I'm not going to be like, well, like put your life savings on this serum.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to push it like that, but I'll be like, okay, but like, then maybe try coming back for treatments more often and we can work on it slowly. Or like maybe invest in one micro needling session to kind of get your skin jump started. Or, you know, like there's other options you can give. And I'm not scared to give like drugstore options to people who prefer that. They're like, you know, some people are like, I know everything's taxed. Like, they don't want to pay you. And I'm like, fair enough. Like, I'm not going to push it. But yeah, you can use like any brands from the drugstore too, but don't expect the results to be the same. I mean, like, even for me, it's not like I'm like, there's so many products out there. I don't know every single one, but I know mine.
Right.
I'm educated on mine, so I'm gonna talk about mine. And it's not like to be like, you need this, but it's like I know these and I trust them.
Right.
So I don't know what that like serum from another store is gonna do to your skin.
That makes sense, and I think that helps when someone is, you know, asking you when you say like, this is a really good product, because like maybe in their mind they're like, oh, this person's trying to push or like make a sales, but it's like, no, it's genuinely just because you've done your research on this particular thing. And it sounds so obvious, but it's like, as a consumer, it's really hard to be like, oh, I have to go somewhere and someone's going to push a product on me.
Exactly. Yeah. And that, like, I can sense it in most clients. Like, the funny thing is, like, being in this business too, and just talking to people all the time, I can sense when I mention, like, oh, like, this would really help. And they're like,
they shut down.
They shut down.
Yeah.
Literally, they're like, oh, she's trying to sell me something.
Yeah.
And then I'll just like continue the conversation on and like not try to, you know, I just wanted to let you know, but I can see if who knows where they came from, like what spa they came from that was pushing products. Like, I don't know what their experience has been.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to judge them, but eventually I think once I do the facial is when people realize, okay, she kind of does know my skin. She's like talking about my skin this whole time, so maybe I should trust her. So I have to build the trust. Like, even like maybe 3 appointments later and they're like, you know what, give me that cleanser that you recommended.
Yeah, exactly.
So, patience, like, I never want to be that pushy person. I hate being pushed onto like, you know, at a store, so I totally get it. Okay. I also shut down, to be honest, so I can recognize it when it happens with someone else.
You're like, oh, I don't want to do this, and I don't like confrontation, so I'm just gonna ignore you. Okay, awesome. Well, you've dropped like so much knowledge onto us. I think that there's so much here we can learn. And if anyone's listening who has those specific skin concerns, they can reach out to you or reach out to any professional in their area, which is so lovely. I have just 2 more questions. Yeah. Are there any myths about brown skin that you feel like are out there that you know of that you can debunk?
That we don't need sunscreen.
That's a good one.
To an extent, we have that UV protection, you know, with the melanin cells, but it doesn't protect us from the skin damage, from cancer. Like, you can't just play a guessing game with your skin and risk all that. And I think skin cancer has increased a lot in the last few years with people getting skin cancer. And I think we need to be a little bit more serious about it, especially we're all sunbathing, going outside. Calgary also is like sunny all year round. Yeah. And all my clients are like, I don't wear it unless it's like summer. And I'm like, it's summer here like until December. So
yeah, like, it's sunny here, but
sunny here. Yeah, it's sunny here. It's not summer for sure. But the UV rays are always out, you know. And
that's actually true.
Actually, I don't know if a lot of people know this. Yeah. They actually penetrate a lot more strong off of snow and through windows. So when you're driving as well, people think, I just drive to work, like it's not a big deal, I don't have to put sunscreen on. But like through that window right in the morning as well, coming back from work, even like 3-4 o'clock in the summer days especially, it's so hot still. So sunscreen, I would say, for brown skin is probably the biggest myth. I would say like that's not needed.
Okay. That's good.
And for pigmentation. So if you want to improve your pigmentation and you're not wearing sunscreen as a brown girl or a brown guy, you're not going to see improvement. You're going to see more damage than anything, especially if you're seeing freckles coming up here. I see a lot of clients are like, I don't know where this came from. I'm like, oh girl, it's a sun damage. It's like on your forehead. You'll notice it here a lot. I notice it here a lot on clients, on top of the nose as well. So these areas the sun
hits us more
the most. So if you notice discoloration happening in the area, you're probably getting sun damage. And it happens early in your life. Like even my skin damage or sun damage that I got in my early 20s from not wearing sunscreen came up in my life like afterwards. Like I didn't see these scars or pigmentation on my face until like later in my life. But that's damage is happening underneath your skin. But people think it's happening on the surface and like, oh, like, you know, I don't wear sunscreen, nothing's happening. Like my skin looks fine. But it's all gonna surface to the top one day, and then it's gonna be like pockets of you know, like melasma or sunspots or freckles of just like
Yeah.
discoloration around your face. And then
And we're like,
where does that happen from?
we're so prone to sunspots. We're so prone to these things because of that. But we just like, just ignore it.
Because of our, melanin cells as well. So you don't want them to be overactive, you know. They do us good too, but they can also do us a lot of damage at the same time.
Just like everything.
Yes, exactly.
Everything in life. Yes. Nothing's perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. That's good to know. And I guess the last question I have for you, I mean, I could ask you a billion questions, and I'm trying not to be selfish and just ask you questions about just my skincare, because I was like, I will book time with you to do that so you can stare at me on the table. Yes. My last question for you is, what advice would you give to yourself when you were like as a young brown girl, not related to skincare, or it can be, but what advice would you give yourself?
I would say, through personal experience, I would tell myself to really think about what you want to do in the future, in a way that, like, you want to think about what you're going to enjoy doing every single day. And it's not about enjoying it as in like having fun. Like, what are you going to feel passionate about? Like, choose your career based off of like what you really feel passionate about, whether it's numbers or science. It doesn't have to be a business or anything either. But I think what I learned from, I used to work a government job, and the miserable years I spent there, all I learned, like every day I woke up and I was like, I can't believe this is my life. And driving home, I was like, I can't believe this is my life. And now I never have that feeling. I get to work, maybe I'm tired in the morning, but I get to work and I'm like, I can't believe this is my life. Like, in a good way. I'm like, this is crazy. And I think the biggest thing, I look back and I'm like, imagine I never left my job and did this, and like how different of a person I would be. I think I grew as a person in general, like my personality, talking to people, like even meeting people like you, people in Calgary, people back home. I met like thousands of people at this point, so many different perspectives, and I just opened up my mind, my life, like in so many ways, and I got so many cool opportunities out of it. And I think my life is just a lot more like lively now than it ever was before.
And like authentic.
Yeah. And I can be myself. And like this job also lets me be more creative, and I think that's something I never knew I wanted to do until I was in my late 20s, or like even my early 20s, I would say. I used to do like blogging. I did lashes at a point. I was really into marketing and things like that. So I never knew. I just like was doing it without realizing like I really enjoy doing this. So when it became my own business and I was doing the marketing for that, that's when everything started to fall together, where I was like, whoa, like this was actually like what I was meant to do. Like I really like making content and like showing my work, or like just, I don't know, like just providing someone like an environment, even just where they can come and like I feel good, they feel good. Like it's just really cool to have a job and a career where you're proud of, and you're like I actually kind of like really love this, and I can't believe I get to do this for the rest of my life. So yeah, do what you love, and whether it's like numbers, science, whatever it is, but just make sure that you can wake up every day and be yourself.
That's lovely. I love that. And that's such a beautiful journey that you're on. I always say like you have to do the things that you like don't like doing to figure out what you do like, and that's often the route that we take. So that's incredible.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining and sharing your wisdom. You've definitely helped me understand my skin and how to navigate all these products. That's it for this episode. Until next time, take care of your skin, get some rest, and wear your sunscreen. See you next time.